Next is my boyfriend's YouTube channel has recently blown up. He's been working extremely hard on it for 2 years and he's finally seeing rewards. I'm very proud of him. I was wondering if you have any advice for him for dealing with the haters, because there are a ton, and the praise. He doesn't read comments, but people still message him saying very mean things, and it definitely gets to him. Some of the comments people leave will make me feel insecure as well, like when people say he's handsome and ask if he's single. A girl he went on a date with years ago also reached out trying to hang out. One of our friends recently said, "I'm glad your channel is blowing up so can you share my blog?" And it really bothered me because his blog had nothing to do with my boyfriend's content. And I felt like he was just trying to use him. Is this something I'll just have to get used to? Any advice for dealing with internet fame is appreciated.
Lot of different good sub questions.
Yeah, that was awesome. Can
of
we
good sub-questions.
start at the top and then pause you?
Yeah.
Justin, say it again.
No. So let's get to the first question.
That's what I'm saying.
So the first part of it is dealing with the haters and the praise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So even before this, I believe I recognize this name. I've seen this name in some of our courses. So if you are in Emotional Mastery, or even if you're not at this point, you're a patron and all that stuff, hit me up. We have a course section of Emotional Mastery that is a bonus that I created for our team about thumbnails and titles. If he's interested, check that out. It's in Emotional Mastery, and I'm happy to share it with you as a patron.
That will just get him more YouTube fame, though.
That will get him more fame.
So we need to answer the question.
So let's answer the question. Okay. Comments. You are new to this. This is your cross to bear in the last couple of weeks. How's it going? What have you learned?
Yeah, what have I learned? The negative comments are just part and parcel with doing it. I think that's the thing. Like, this is actually, so one of the things I did, I think you're great at making videos. I would make videos. People would watch them. They'd get good views, but they'd get negative comments. I went and read some of your comments, and I was like, okay, some people think Charlie sucks too.
Yeah.
And I know that that's not the case, in my opinion, at least. So it's like, all right, that helped normalize to me. Like, some percentage of people are just going to be critical. And that was very helpful for me. So this person could do the same thing.
Read our comments.
They like our comments. If you like our channel, go check out our videos. You will see that there are people that are haters.
Yeah.
So that was really helpful. I think another thing was our friend who was on Survivor, who was on the podcast, Benji, said something very helpful, which is sometimes people are they just have a feeling. And so oftentimes these people that are writing things that are mean, if they saw you and recognized you on the street, this is not what they would say. And so recognizing that comments are not the same as conversation. Because you read a comment, you're like, oh my God, if someone said this to me, it would be so hurtful. It's like, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
They'll immediately get 10 times softer, right? So recognizing that a comment is kind of like meaningless. And then the other thing, which is kind of a bummer, is you have to detach from the positive comments as well. Now, I love them, keep them coming, because I'm not perfect, but there is a sense that, yeah, you have to recognize that nobody knows who you are. So all they're commenting on is this one 10-minute video. Does that make sense? So like, this is stupid. They're not saying I'm stupid. They're saying what I said is stupid. But similarly, like, this is amazing. They're actually not saying that I'm amazing.
They're revealing more about themselves than they are about you. They're revealing, oh, wow, I think this topic is so cool, which says more about the commenter than it does about the thing.
Yeah, exactly. Someone writes on Andrew Schultz, this is tone deaf, how could you make this? And someone else writes on it, this is amazing, I love Andrew Schultz. None of this actually means anything about Ben Altman, the individual. Does that make sense?
Yeah, you know more about those two people. You know that the one person is sensitive to what's going on in the world, and the other person thinks Andrew Schultz is an amazing comedian. You know very little about about you.
Yeah.
So comments ultimately reveal much more about the person saying them, which, and to your point, means that you got to check yourself when you start getting a big head because of the positive ones, because they also don't say anything about you. But go ahead.
No. So that's been the stuff that's been most helpful.
So Benji also had something that helped me, which is any good business needs to understand what their vanity metrics are, which is to say the things that we want to check but don't matter, as well as the metrics that count. And so he said, what metrics count to you? And I was like, well, I guess technically, how the views are, but really that's kind of vanity. I guess, like, how is the company doing from a financial profit perspective matters. And then what else matters? Did I enjoy making that video? And then it's kind of it. You know what I mean?
And do people who join the courses like them? And
in the context of making videos.
Yeah. Okay, sorry.
In the context of making videos. And we started, because of this, we're like, oh, wow, we should track how people feel about our course. So we put up a survey on our course. But the point is that you need to identify what metrics matter to you and then actually find a way to measure them such that you're not just saying, oh, I'm not going to look at the comments. You're saying, I am going to track the metrics that matter. Because if you don't, what you'll find is that you're quickly doing videos that you don't like because you haven't made that an important metric. And maybe you're getting tons of views, but the ad rates are really low on that topic.
Or maybe your goal is views, in which case don't worry about the comments, track views. But this was huge for us because we did 90 Day Fiance because it was so hot on YouTube. And it got off to a hot start with great views. And then we checked and no one joined a single, I mean, that's not true. Very few people joined a course because of it.
Yes.
Versus doing somebody else that's more interesting to me because it's a good charisma lesson versus 90 Day Fiance. It's kind of like, don't do all this crazy stuff. One, I like it more. Two, our audience likes it more. Even if it doesn't go as viral, more people join the course because of it. So yeah, it's about picking your metrics because it will literally change what you do.
And this is tough because the YouTube studio, without you realizing, has told you which metrics matter and they're broken. It's like, is this video relatively better than the last 10? If for those of you who don't know, you go to YouTube studio, it tells you on a scale of 1 of 10, 2 of 10, where this video ranks in the last 10. Well, that says nothing about the absolute amount of views. It's only, am I relative to the last 10 going up, which is an insane metric to have, right? Because like you can't grow forever.
Well, also funny enough, good content keeps going and mediocre content might pop because of a topic, but then it dies. We've had topics that blew up in the first week and like never got a view after the first week.
So what I had to do was recognize like, oh wow, YouTube Studio, I can't go in because it is just a cesspool of bad metrics on the homepage. Now there's times where I have to dig into the analytics to get a certain thing that I'm looking for, but it's very common for people to log in, watch views, and I have to tell myself, of like, the business will do worse and I will feel worse the more time I spend in any sort of dashboard that has bullshit metrics, and YouTube Studio is that dashboard. So it's like, okay, I can't click here. And then I was like, so that has helped me as well. So that's the comments part. And just practical advice, do not respond.
Yeah, that's another thing I was gonna say. She said he doesn't read the comments, but he still gets messages from haters. Don't respond to haters.
Ever.
If you get the urge to respond to a hater, respond to someone who's written you something thoughtful and nice,
or asking for help, saying, "Hey, I need help."
Yeah, which I assume it would be thoughtful.
Yes.
Like,
and so that, and because you'll find that you're tempted to defend yourself. It's like, holy cow, I'm going to give more energy to this person who has been unkind to me than someone who has reached out with a genuine question or someone that is. So yeah, for every time you feel that, you can just go find someone who's done something nice, and then now you're creating a positive feedback loop in the world.
There's another question too, which is like what to do about the fact that like now he's getting handsome comments.
So so what was the next follow-up question? It was, how do we deal with comments?
And then the next one was about the girlfriend feeling insecure about people calling him handsome, and then like his ex reaching out to him.
And then there was, I remember the third. So I've never had this scenario. I don't know.
An ex reaching out?
No, I have. No, I mean, I've never been the partner in a relationship who is watching someone else receive critical acclaim and seeing that there was a ton of attention on them. So I don't know that one specifically. Is there any thoughts that you have?
I have one general thought, which I'm sure there are exceptions, but so you and I both at times in our lives have done open relationships, which is like the most at-risk relationship you could possibly imagine, which is to say you have the blessing of your partner to sleep with other people. And several of my friends, and a guy that I had paid to help me with jealousy and stuff like that, I talked to all of them. I watched all the relationships. No one ever broke up with someone because of positive attention from someone else. Even in our case, when it was having sex with someone else. What ended relationships was the dynamic in the relationship. Now, I assume you're in a closed relationship, so your relationship is even inherently less uncertain than all those open relationships. But the reason I share that is because your relationship with your boyfriend is going to succeed or fail based on the dynamic that you two have together. And so don't worry about, someone's going to write him and he's going to whatever. Like, as long as you're happy and making him happy while he's happy and making you happy and you're treating each other well, your relationship's going to be fine. And by the way, you can't really make anyone happy and no one else can make you happy. So all you can really focus on is being happy and treating him in a way that you're going to be proud of, whether the relationship lasts or not.
Yeah. And like you said, so I've done open relationships and I've had the freedom to sleep with people and all that sort of stuff. But just to echo your point, I have never even come close to wanting to replace the person that I was dating. Nothing.
Because of someone else. But I have because of my significant other's behavior.
Sure, but that's not even replace.
No,
that's
not to replace it. That's just to break up.
That's just to get rid.
That's what I'm saying. All my breakups are because of that person's behavior.
So weirdly enough, and I don't know if this is 100%, I would say that the quality of your relationship is so much more in your hands than you recognize. And as someone who has received that attention from people who are sometimes very attractive and all those sorts of things, the relationship that I have been in has truly I've never not wanted to be in it because somebody else liked me. But I have ended relationships, and that was because I needed to get out of the relationship that I was in, not necessarily into something else. So I think you're safer than you think. Though I don't, I can only speak for myself. And then there was the last question of how do we deal with people kind of hitting us up, asking for favors and making those sort of sidelong comments. So this will start to happen.
And it will never stop.
It will never stop. And that'll be, first world problem. So what I have done is I don't know that you're at this point yet. I've insulated myself from it, which is to say I have a personal email address that I write my answers to, and I have a business email address, Charlie@charisma-on-command, that my assistant goes through and occasionally sends to me some things that I need to see. Such that if you are not actually my friend, you can't get to me. You go ahead.
This was a friend.
Yeah. So and then this happened. I think one of our first podcasts ever, I was like, dude, somebody that I haven't spoken to in 10 years found out my channel, had my email, hit me. I was like, we should totally hang out. This is a person that passed on opportunities to hang out with me repeatedly, not in a mean way, just like we weren't friends, that we just had each other's email. What do you do? Yeah, it's going to continue to happen. I think recognize that it's not evil on their part. There is a natural human desire to try to attach yourself to someone that you think might be able to help you, and to get very clear policies. It's always nice to fall back on policy. And my policy is like, no, you can't do a guest post. I will not ever do a guest post unless it's someone that I independently admire, but never would I let a friend, even a close friend, create content for me. And so I'll tell people, I'll be like, listen, if you're Tony Robbins, you can write for me because I've read your books. But if I haven't read your book independently and thought it was amazing, then no, you can't be on the channel, and no, I won't promote you. And that's just my policy.
I also think kind honesty is just a very easy thing to fall back on. Like, we have sponsors on our YouTube channel. Right now, the most common one is Audible. I love Audible. I'm happy to promote them. We had a friend recently hit us up asking, he's involved in it. I think he's an angel investor or an advisor to a company, and he wanted to do a sponsorship, which we do. So there's no policy. I can't go, we don't do sponsorships, right? So I look at the product, not a good fit for us, right? So I literally just responded to the guy. And the thing is, like, I think it's more just come from a place of comfort with this, which comes with practice, really. I just said, hey, I don't think this is a good fit. It doesn't make sense for our channel. I don't think we should do it. Now I happen to know somebody that it was a good fit for. So I was like, if you want, I know these people, I can put you in touch.
Yeah.
Not because you hit me up asking for this, but because you're my friend. And if you had hit me up saying, hey, do you know anyone in this industry? I would have done this.
Yeah.
So I put them in touch, and that was it. And there was no hard feelings. He was like, oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I think people, if this is truly a friend, I think maybe you think they're going to be more upset than they actually will be if you just say, hey, sorry, this isn't the right topic for me.
Well, and you can also, like, if they're going to crack a joke, feel free to joke back. Be like, yeah, can't wait to promote, can't wait for you to not have to do any marketing, and we'll just take care of everything, or whatever joke you want to make about it is totally reasonable. But if the ask becomes a real thing, and what you were kind of saying is that you recognize that the platform that your boyfriend has created is not for him to nepotistically put on his friends and family. It's for him to create valuable content for his audience.
This is what I was just going to say. You fall back on the audience.
Yeah. Like, look, this isn't my play toy that I just like, and now you get a car and you get a car. No, like, this is for me to create really valuable stuff for my audience. So to the degree that I believe that you've done that, I welcome all comers. And that's actually my thing, is like, I think Tony Robbins would do it, and I think most other people wouldn't. So they can't be on my thing.
Sure,
but I had Scott Harrison on the thing. He's the Charity Water CEO.
If I were this guy, let's say you got 100,000 subscribers, right? And it's like, hey, I want you to promote my blog. I just say, like, hey, that's not what these people are here for. You know what I mean? It's a comedy channel. Your blog is about health and fitness. It's not personal. I wouldn't promote anyone's health and fitness stuff. So I don't think it makes sense.
It's not what they want. And again, it's the truth. This isn't even you backing out. It's like, this isn't my thing to just dick around and do whatever the heck I please. This is for me to create valuable stuff for the people that have signed up and subscribed. So yeah, I could talk at length about this, but good luck. It'll work out.
I think we answered all that, right?
Yep.
Cool.
Hope that you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to see more like this and have us do more podcasts, we are 100% funded by our generous patrons. And if you'd like to contribute, there's a link in the description, and we'll have one pop up on the screen right here so that we can do more podcasts where we have fun conversations and hopefully some deep ones like this. Either way, hope that you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.